Hello, my name is Nicole, and today I will be exploring different methods of marking New World warblers, also known as the family Parulidae. By far the standard for marking birds is banding with metal bands, and this comes with a risk of injury to the bird. Banding birds is a very delicate process to learn, and before mastering the skill, some new banders often inevitably injure a bird. Warblers in particular have a high risk of injury due to the bands often being applied too tightly, which can lead to irritation and even foot loss. And this happens more often in warblers as their legs are so thin. Inexperienced banders could also potentially slip when using the banding pliers and damage their small, thin legs as well. So, how do we prevent these injuries? I will be evaluating methods that have been used to mark warblers for identification by the criteria of practicality of use, cost, and risk of injury or harm to the birds marked. Banding small birds is the standard for marking them, and this involves capturing birds in mist nets as you see in the top image here, and once the birds are removed from the mist net, they use a lightweight metal band that they apply to the leg that has an ID number on it, and they apply this to the leg with special pliers. After some body measurements are taken, the bird is then released, and the number on the band can be used to identify it upon future recapture. Pros of this method include that it is very well developed, it is widely used as a standard, it is cheap, the metal bands are cheap, and the process of being handled is quick to minimize stress on the bird. Once banders are highly trained, it is generally quite safe for the bird. Cons can include stressful capture and handling, especially on small birds like warblers, as warblers have a very high metabolism rate in comparison to other birds, so they can be more affected by stressful situations and they run out of energy faster. There's also, of course, the aforementioned risk of injury to the legs of the bird. VHF tagging is another method that can be used on warblers, and this involves gluing a small transmitter with a long antenna on it, as you see here, to the bird's back, and this transmitter emits beeps on a certain frequency. Stations can be set up that can note this frequency and note when tagged birds pass them, or you can attempt to locate the birds on foot with a receiver and an antenna. And nano tags are the tags that you see on the birds' backs here, and they are a bird-friendly option as they are lightweight and small, and they are one of the smallest VHF tags available for wildlife. Pros of this method include simple application, as it is just gluing the tag to the back of the bird, and there is no need to apply anything to the legs, so this reduces stress of handling and risk of injury. Cons of this method can include that these tags are quite expensive in comparison to a simple metal band, and that they have a battery life, so this method cannot be used to study birds long term. The birds can also be hard to find again, especially if you are trying to find them on foot, because they can migrate or fly out of the range where you are looking for them. Another method that can be used to mark birds are pit tags. Pit tags are tags that return an ID number when you scan them with a reader, and they are applied below the skin in the bird's back using a needle. So as you can see here, tweezers are used to pull the bird's skin up, and then the needle is inserted and the pit tag can be injected under the skin. These tags are scanned when birds are recaptured in mist nets, or they can also place a scanner in bird feeders, so when the bird visits the bird feeder, the tag can be scanned and the bird can be identified without need for recapture. These tags have mostly been used in larger birds, but have occasionally been used even in small passerines. Pros of this method include reduced risk of leg injury, as these tags are applied in the bird's back, and these tags will not change the bird's appearance, therefore this likely lowers any negative social impacts the birds might have of being banded, especially if they have colorful tags on their legs. Feeder readers also can decrease stress on the bird if they don't have to be recaptured in order to read their ID number. Cons of this method include that it is more expensive than using simple metal bands, and although implants have been used in small passerines, warblers have not been specifically studied, so risks may not have been discovered yet, and more testing and study will be needed to determine if this method will be safe to be used in warblers. And birds also have thin skin as well, so they may not retain the tags as well as larger birds or other species. One study on pied flycatchers, however, found a 77% retention rate and no effect on survival of the bird. And another study on great tits also found no effect on the bird's survival after these pit tags were applied. So I believe that this has potential to become a commonly accepted marking method. So my best recommendation would be that we should further study pit tags in warblers, because they have been studied in small passerines, but not much in warblers specifically. If no risk of complication is discovered after further study, I think that this method has the potential to become a commonly accepted method of marking warblers. In the meantime, however, banding should continue to be used, as it is cheap and a tried and true method of marking warblers. Here are my sources, and please feel free to leave any comments or questions below. Thank you so much for watching.